myself. So I'd like to talk about you. So several people have asked me why I asked everyone to wear Hawaiian shirts. This is wonderful. Thank you all. It's the most Hawaiian shirts I've seen since my last trip to Hawaii. I love Hawaii, but when they said, what theme do you want for your party? And I said, I'd like to have an aloha theme. And I was thinking this morning, aloha is a perfect word. So in Hawaii, aloha literally means love, and there's a lot of that on this campus from everyone here. It also means goodbye, and it also means hello, which is also appropriate. So I'm stepping down from one position, but I'm not going anywhere. I never would go anywhere. And so hello to the next phase. It's unbelievable to me that I first came here as an undergrad almost 40 years ago. As was mentioned, I've been a student, staff, faculty, and administrator. I am happy to say, though, that some of the people from whom I took courses are still with us. Professor Sagel, Professor Schmidt, I saw earlier. People stick around a long time at this place because it's a good place and they like it. My 6 years of dean have gone by really quickly. It's been a remarkable time as we learned how to be a college. I think we were in division for so long we sort of forgot what it was to be a college, even though we were members of 2 other colleges. And there's been change on every front. Every week's brought something new while I've been dean. Some problematic, like deficits and budget cuts, but balanced by good things like hiring new faculty. Overhauling our core curriculum, which was a lot of work, but thanks to the hard work of the faculty, it came out great in the end. The faculty have faced changes in the funding environment, and that's a challenge to all of us that we are going to have to face in the future. More budget cuts. It seems like that's been a consistent theme. But I really think with the arrival of our new boss, things are changing here on campus. I think we all feel it, and I think we're at the beginning of a new era for the campus that's going to be a really good time. Really, we're going to be in a really good place, and so I look forward to working with her and the provost on that. And I think these next few years are really going to define the campus for our next century. This party is kind of a unique hybrid. I don't know how many of you have sort of known this. It's a hybrid of my 2 families, or ohana as the Hawaiians call it. The faculty and staff of the college, it's been my privilege to serve for these last 6 years, and also a good chunk of the membership of the Council of Deans and Vice Chancellors who have joined us here today, kind of creating a nice hybrid group. I can't thank everyone individually. This is all taken too long already, but I would just like to start by saying thank you personally to each and every one of the people in this room. I know you all. I really appreciate everything that all of you have done for me. My service as dean has only been a success because of your efforts, and I really appreciate it. So having hopefully covered myself by thanking each and every one of you, there are a few special friends that I would like to mention, some here and some not here. I'd like to thank our former Chancellor Larry Vanderhoff and former Provost Virginia Hinshaw for first having the trust to put this job in my hands. And also Chancellor Katehi and the many provosts I've served with, Horvitz, Lavernia, Exeter, for continuing that trust. For my first group, my college, I'd like to start by thanking the remarkable staff of this college, both in the Dean's office, my great team in the Dean's office, and out in the departments. Your efforts under really tremendous pressure and trying circumstances have made it possible for the faculty of the college to carry out their teaching and research missions, and I thank you all for that. I particularly want to thank my whole Dean's office team, my associate deans, Carol Erickson, Diana Miles, my office manager, Susan Sains, who's had something to do with putting this party together along with Nye Saitern, my executive assistant dean, Donna Olson, and chief financial officer, Cheryl Coates, without whom no one could possibly run an operation this complex. The undergrad program, where I got my start as associate dean and still have a sort of special love. My accounting unit, my IT group, the development unit, the grad group cluster, and our friends from biotech who've been great tenants, no complaints. I also want to thank my 3 remarkable assistants over the years. My first assistant, if you can call her that, Sharon Harrison, who was really my mentor, helped me figure out how deans should act, since I didn't really know, and managed to do just about everything except for get me to keep a clean desk. She never really succeeded at that. My golfing partner, Teresa Garcia, who brought a lot of fun to the dean's office and really kept things lively for the next several years. And most recently, the very talented Nice intern, who's really done a spectacular job, and who we have to thank also for a lot of the arrangements for today's party. I want to thank my department chairs who've served during my term through tough times, who've made a lot of personal sacrifice of their own time, provided service to their faculty. Particularly thank my center directors, past, present, future. Richard and I have worked together since the early days working on genetics, and it's been a real honor and pleasure to work for him and with him over these last several years. The directors at Neuroscience, we're so pleased to have gotten Cam Carter to agree to take on. That was one bit of unfinished business that I was really hoping we would be able to finish before I left. And thanks to Cam and a lot of help from the Chancellor and Provost, we managed to pull that off. The directors at Bodega, particularly Susan that I worked with, who Bodega really captures your heart the first time you go out there. And ever since my first visit, I really was pleased to be able to help them. I thank all of the faculty of the college. I think I know each and every one of them. They're remarkable people. They're really dedicated people. They've done amazing things in a time when it's not so easy to get grants and keep things going. They've done a great job teaching the students of the college. Thank you all for your dedication. The college has really only flourished because of your efforts. I thank our special friends of the college who've contributed their time and their personal resources to making the college and the university a better place. A good number of them are here today. Mel, Wayne, Jackie could have been here, Lydia, Alan, Susan, Eric, Gilles, Rosalind. Tracy Storer couldn't be here today, but Ian Storer joined us, and many others who weren't able to come today. I'll always be grateful to all of you for your wise counsel and your friendship and your support of the college. From my second family, the family of deans and vice chancellors, I thank you all. It's been a privilege to work with all of you. I've learned an incredible amount from all of you. Many of you mentored me in my early years as a dean, including my friend Winston, who couldn't be here today, but who got me off to a good start, understanding the relationships between deans, which were not at all apparent to me coming in from outside. And I really appreciate partnering with all of you over the years. We've done a lot of great things together, and I think a lot of those, the university is in great hands, and I really think there's great things going forward. Finally, as is the tradition at the end of speeches like this, I'd like to thank my wife of 31 years, Lindy, who, as is so often the case with her, is off taking care of her animal patients. I know many of you have never met her, and some really even question her existence as anything other than my imaginary friend. But I assure you that she's quite real and has been the foundation of my life, without whom I would not be who I am. She's made this shirt for me. So for everything you've done and for joining me here today, thank you. Aloha.